The fact is, this is a worldwide problem.
President Trump is publicly declaring a war on the opioid epidemic. Overdoses of the drug have claimed the lives of hundreds of thousands of Americans in recent years. Now the president is calling it a public health emergency, and it's a crisis that we know all too well has certainly reached into Fort Wayne. In fact, local leaders have been warning about its impact for quite a long time now.
Fort Wayne's NBC reporter Krista Miller spoke with a Fort Wayne woman who knows the opioid epidemic all too well herself. Krista's live in studio with us now.
Tom and Linda, I met Andrea Schrader today at Lindenwood Cemetery. That's where she buried her 27-year-old daughter a year ago after she died of a heroin overdose. Schrader is encouraged by today's announcement from the president, but says it's only the beginning to tackling this crisis.
She's very smart. Yeah, she only used 5 months.
Andrea Schrader reflects on the daughter she describes as warm and giving.
Fun, loving person to be with. And she adored and loved her children. She's missed every day.
Miriah Herport was 27 years old. She had 3 young daughters.
We were all real close. Family full of women.
She died just shy of a year ago when she was taken off life support, days after she overdosed on heroin. She had been addicted to the drug for 5 months.
With this, you pray that they go to jail because at least you know they're not dead. You know, and then a few hours later we got the call.
That she had overdosed.
Yeah.
In Washington Tuesday, President Donald Trump declared the opioid crisis a public health emergency.
We can be the generation that ends the opioid epidemic.
The White House says the president's plan will not bring new dollars to fight the opioid crisis, but it will expand access to medical services in rural areas and shift some federal HIV money to help addicts. Schrader says it's a step in the right direction.
I do think that it will require more than just saying and stating that.
The order under the Public Health Services Act will direct federal agencies to give more grant money to fight the epidemic, but it stops short of declaring it a national emergency, as Trump recently promised.
As Americans, we cannot allow this to continue.
Schrader takes that responsibility seriously. Through panel discussions, committees, and a group she heads, Miriah's journey. It's the only thing, Schrader says, that gets her out of bed each day.
Because that's all I think about. Losing a child is awful. It's the worst pain I think anybody could ever feel. My life will never be the same. I have the life before she passed, and I have the life now.
But like I mentioned, Tom and Linda, Schrader does a lot of work in the community, getting the word out about this problem. And she said every time she speaks, she has someone, at least one person, who will reach out to her and say, it helped me. What you said, what you did helped me. And she said that is worth it for her to do all of this work.
I can't imagine what she's been through, but yet to see her be so strong and so important right now to our community, I mean, my hat's off to her for sure.
She's making a difference.
She really is.
Thanks, Krista.
Thank you.